The just shall live by faith. Romans 1, verse 17. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. Romans 10, chapter 1, brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved. That they might be saved. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God, but not according to knowledge. For they, being ignorant of God's righteousness, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of God. Verse 4, for Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. For Moses described the righteousness which is of the law, that the man which doeth those things shall live by them. But the righteousness which is of faith speaketh on this wise, say not in down heart, who shall ascend into heaven, that is to bring Christ down from above. The just shall live by faith. Christ is the end of the law unto righteousness to everyone that believeth. This is what the Bible says. But of course, the Hebrew Israelites can't stand these scriptures. They can't stand those scriptures. They can't stand Jesus Christ. Some of them, a lot of them. They can't stand stuff like that. This is Bible. This is Bible. They want to pick and choose and mostly deny Christ. Some of them will go into the New Testament and pick and choose these scriptures. But the gospel, Paul just said his prayer for Israel that they would be saved. Letting you know that they hadn't been saved. What Jesus tell Nicodemus, he was a ruler of the Jews, still had to be saved. Hebrew Israelites have yet to be saved. They still want to go about the law. Hebrew talks about the law too, as well. The just shall live by faith. Then Christ said, verse 9, Hebrew chapter 10, verse 9. Then said he, lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second. What's that talking about? He taketh away the first, that he may establish the second. God had a will and a plan to take away the first and establish the second. Let's go back to chapter 10, verse 1. For the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually make the commerce there until perfect. The commerce there unto perfect. For the law being a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things, can never with those sacrifices which they offer year by year, continually, to make the commerce thereunto perfect. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God. He take away the first so he can establish the second. The law of Moses, the law of God. The law of Moses first, the law of God. Let's go back to Hebrew chapter. God, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophet, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he had appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sin, sat down at the right hand of the majesty on high. You go to Ephesians. The gift is not of works that we are saved, lest any man should boast, but it is the gift of God. For we are his workmanship. It's not of works that we are saved. Some Hebrew Israelites want to limit works to just the sacrificial part of the works, when they talk about the works of the law. But they say all the other laws we are still under. Some even deny that we are, that the atonement of sin, the sacrifice of animals, is still good under the law. But when the Bible talks about the law, it's talking about all the laws outside of the 10 Commandments. God is doing away with the first so he can establish the second. If the children of Israel never went into a world of sin, God would have never had to pass down the other 603 laws. He did that after they started sinning. And it had to be. But when Christ came and he was being prophesied by David, what he would do, he was coming to save the world, to offer himself a sacrifice for the world. They want to make David God. David ain't God. But David at the same time prophesied deeper on in his writings and whatever about the coming of Christ. Why they can't let it go? They trying to get to heaven on their own works. And when the Bible talks about the works of the law, it's talking about everything outside of the 10 Commandments. That's what Jesus Christ came back and reestablished, the 10 Commandments. Now, you want to look at Sabbath day, that's a discussion right there. If you want to look at the Sabbath day, that's a discussion. But still, Ephesians 2. Verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourself, it is the gift of God. Not of works, lest any man should boast. Not of works. Not of works of the law. Not of works. not of works. You read on in the epistles of the apostles, they never preached and promoted any of the works of the law. They eliminated those works. Although the law of Christ was reestablished on the 10. Paul said, my prayer to God for Israel that they might be saved. So they let you know, these guys running around here, calling they Hebrew Israelites, they think they doing God a favor. They not saved. They on their way to hell. And they despise anybody that preach against them. I'm getting them in my comment section. They're attacking me for preaching against them. But they go out there, I'm sure today, well, today's Sabbath day, they might be laying low. But tomorrow and yesterday, they is out there in the streets somewhere stirring up trouble, stirring up strife, preaching hate. They're attacking me on all sides. Some of them don't believe in God, Jesus Christ. Some of them do believe in Jesus Christ. How can you debate against them? Some of them believe in the New Scripture Testament, some of them don't. But they want to attack each other. They'd rather just sit back and attack Christians to give themselves a ground, knowing all the time that they have different doctrine, different beliefs. I try to get them on that. They don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about Christianity, fake Christianity. I follow Christ. I follow the scriptures. I don't know about this Christianity stuff. It might be fake. But just like Paul said, y'all have yet to be saved. That they will be saved. You ain't saved because you're not living by faith. You're living by the works of the law that y'all saved. And when I asked them, are they atoning for sin and doing all the other stuff that required for them to live under law, they either don't answer them or they'll try to get around. Very few will come back and say, no, we don't do. But 90% of them say they keep the laws. But when you ask them about sacrificing animals and atoning for sins and doing all the other stuff for the law, they don't do that. So they're neither under the law and they're neither under grace. What are they? Somewhere in the middle. But when it's all over said and done, they going to hell because they not saved. You still trying to hold to the law when the Bible already taking the law away and did away with the law, but you want to hold to the law. It don't make no sense. You holding to nothing. In the end, it don't profit you nothing. Y'all going to hell.